Monday morning, everybody. Danny here, along with Psychic Duck. Say hello to Psychic Duck, everybody. Hello, everybody. How you feeling today? Oh, pretty good. Not bad. So, the energy of today, a lot of stuff, has been flooding at me. We have Pumpkinhead just in a spiral. We have the Epstein files coming out, and I was watching some podcasts, and part of the reoccurring theme that is coming up is watch what we are ingesting. And it's not only in the political landscape. It just feels like we need a break from all this stuff, and it's really so it's just ugly, nasty, vile stuff that is coming into our awareness, and it will get a little worse. And so I was watching my favorites, Heather Cox Richardson, and she was saying, I just can't watch anything else. I'm reading some stuff. The news, it's just, however she gets her news, it's just too much. So I needed just a little break. And I thought too, and so one of the things that I was also looking at was, hang on one second, come on. Okay. One of the things that Heather said, going back to that, was that people are just trying to have a normal day in the news, and it just keeps coming at us and coming at us. I remember one of my spiritual mentors talking about how she got really ill because of what she was consuming in her world. I'm like, yeah, and it wasn't just a mental thing, it was physical. So we may go, ooh, this is really gross, this is sick, this is awful, and then it turns into a physical ailment. So we need to watch that. So I think when we're watching some of this news on the Epstein stuff, that we need to be a little detached from it. There are times when we are just not supposed to see some of this stuff. There are people who are trained to do this, let them do it. Us who may not be trained in this, step away from it as much as we can. It's not to say not to be aware, but let's not be absorbing all of this, bathing in it so much. Okay. I was reading some stuff on soul loss, and the victims have that, I'm sure, and they've dealt with that. But this can also affect us too, pulling away some of our soul. Just looking at how disgusting human beings can be towards other humans. So we can lose a part of ourselves in that. Another message that I got was from an astrologer, and what she said is the moon in Libra, quindecile Ceres in Aries. And I go, oh, of course, that sums it all up. What she said was, it's a health aspect. Watch out, especially for the disordered eating. Okay. You deserve to be nourished and cared for just like everybody else. What are we feeding ourselves, especially with the news? So I want to break this down a little bit before I get into the politics, so that you can turn me off when I get into the politics of it. So the moon in Libra, what does that mean? And I go, chat, GPT, thank you. Certain instances, this could be kind of fun and it kind of helps. Is this absolutely true? Some astrologers, my sister Denise, she may go, yeah, you got to be really careful with that. I don't know. I'm just playing in it. So the moon in Libra, this talks about your emotional style. The moon represents your feelings, instincts, emotional needs. It's all about the push and pull of tides, which I relate it to. So it's always a shift. Libra is about balance, harmony, fairness, and relationships. So moon in Libra means you're feeling happiest when things are peaceful. How we doing so far? How you doing out there in Charlotte? Are you happiest in this? Sorry. Squirrel moment. You dislike conflict and often try to keep everybody happy. Okay. Ceres and Eris, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right. How you give and receive nourishment. So Ceres is an asteroid connected to nurturing, caregiving, food, comfort, and how we support. Where is it? Come on. How we support others. Oh my gosh. And Aries is bold, independent, fast-moving, and sometimes impulsive. So, we could get some impulsive movements coming here. We get this energy with, as we support each other, you can do it. We have power. I've been saying this with our stepping into our spiritual awareness and stepping into our gifts. We can do this. We can get into that special place where we can acknowledge our gifts, acknowledge who we are as artists, musicians, psychics, healers, whatever it is. We can do this. We can get through this. All right. Come on now. There's a protective, action-oriented, caring thing to this. Okay, here's the third part, the quindecile aspect. And so a quindecile is a 165-degree angle between two planets, 2 points, and astrologers interpret it as obsessive or compelling tension, a repeated life issue. For example, you keep coming back to the same issue again and again. Even if you try to ignore it, it pulls you back. What would that be? Epstein? I know. So I decided I was going to use the Healing Oracle to start this off, 850. And I decided to go through the eyes of soul. This is a Cheryl Yambrock Rose deck. She does a lot of paintings, very intuitive. I got these in Shasta. So I pulled 3 cards, and at the bottom of the deck, though, before I go, I wonder, is this the right deck? This is the card that I got. And it says, visualize healing. I went, whoa. And I think this is Castle Craig near Mount Shasta. I should probably look it up. But visualize healing. So as we are ingesting so much of this stuff, and I really feel like we need a break from it. Although it's so important and we want to see the truth come out, for me, it's for the victims, so that they can have closure, some kind of closure. All right, so the 3 cards I got. The first card I got is, I forgot to read it, Retreat into Nature, Solitude. So the cards are saying time to back away from the cycle, from feeding us this toxic information. Step away from it, go into solitude. This is a shamanica, female shaman of the redwood forest. The redwoods were trees found in Lemuria, according to the author here. And they have, those redwoods, they have, many of them have an opening in the base of the redwood tree that shamans can travel into. And they drop down into the lower world to do a journey into the lower world, where you find certain powers, i.e. your power animal, to help you throughout these crazy times. So maybe this is a time for you all to journey down into the tree, into a redwood tree, reconnect with your power animal. Hey, and when we get there and an animal comes up, ask, are you my power animal? Why'd you show up? What are you doing? What's your name? If they say Bob, then you're connected to my power animal, Bob. I'm kidding. So we each have our own, and they each shift and change. And okay, moving on. The second card I got is be curious, look deeper. And so that goes along with, when I first pulled this card, I went, what does that mean? I may need to pull some clarifiers. But as I dissected this card just now, I went, well, that's what this card is saying. When we get down into the solitude, when we drop down into the lower world to find our power animal, be curious, ask questions, look deeper. And this card, according to the author, I'm just going to read just a wee bit of it. This is the Welsh Fairy Glen. And it's all about looking at, when we get into this space in our imaginations, that we just play in the imaginations. Okay, I'm going to move to the third card and then tie this up. The third card is the magic is alive. Ask your divine child. The magic is alive. Ask your divine child. So when we are curious and we dive deeper like we're diving in with our child's mind, with our divine child, our innocent mind, the mind that we came onto planet Earth with, that had no judgments, that had really, we were in our full power when we came onto this earth. And it's kind of weird because we needed so much help. Feed me, clothe me, bathe me, comfort me, all that. But that our true essence was so powerful when we came out, yet it was so, I don't want to say weak, so there needed to be a symbiotic relationship with something else when we came into this planet. Just as we do now, getting back to tapping into nature, retreating into nature, and finding that symbiotic relationship with nature. We still need that. Okay, 15 minutes in. And I think I'm just gonna stop it there. Do some political stuff later in the week, but it just feels like, we're just rehashing the same old stuff in politic land, and it's really important to pay attention to us and what we eat, what we ingest, and how we play like a divine child. All right, thank you all for watching. Peace and love.